Bob Clampett was one of the greatest animation directors to ever work for Warner Brothers. Under his direction, the animators were able to show the audience so much about the characters he was given through their animation, and this is greatly shown in the 1945 film, Draftee Duck. In the film, Daffy Duck is excited to enter into war, but his excitement is shot down immediately when he realizes that he has been drafted into said war. Throughout the film, we can see the numerous attempts at which Daffy attempts to avoid getting drafted. Under Bob Clampett's direction, we are able to see the flaws within Daffy's character, as he is depicted as a neurotic, manic, and unhinged individual. Let's look at the scene where Daffy realizes that he has been selected to be drafted.
From the draft board! Oh! Yeah!
As Daffy shouts the man from the draft board, an amazing showcase of squash and stretch animation is implemented. Daffy's head is stretched to be bigger than before. When he shouts, "Oh!" we can see that his beak expands and stretches at a length bigger than his entire body. When he lets out a yipe, he stretches his body vertically before squashing himself into the air and falling down with his body squashed into the ground. With the animation on display, we're able to see how unhinged Daffy is as an individual who resorts to shouting and yelping when dealing with the prospect of being drafted into the war. When Daffy sees the man from the draft attempting to recruit him, Daffy builds a barricade and runs away in fear. As Daffy runs, we can see a heavy use of smearing in this sequence. There is light smearing around his feet as he is running across the hallway, and heavy smearing as he runs up the stairs. In this scene, Daffy's entire body is practically obscured by this smearing, with the most prominent features that stick out being his head and his feet. In fact, even the background gets in on the smearing action. Such uses of smearing techniques creates a sense of speed and shows how manic Daffy is as a person. Lastly, I want to look at one more scene. When Daffy attempts to leave his house to get a ticket to the North Pole, he spots the man from the draft again, unable to deter him away. As he begins to book it to the airport, Daffy is held in a moving hold for 43 frames. In this moving hold, his body is frozen, and he slowly moves towards the man from the draft. We can just see how dramatic of a person Daffy can be, literally freezing himself in front of the person he is terrified to come into contact with. In this film, we learned so much about Daffy. What started out as a confident, war-hungry duck soon turned into a manic, cowardly, unhinged individual who is afraid of initiating any sort of confrontation. Great animation allows the audience to understand the character's personality by simply just watching them, and we're able to learn so much about Daffy in this film because Bob Clampett's direction allowed the animators to stretch, smear, and freeze the duck into the maniac that we know him for.